Hi there, Sunny Bonane Dumelang. Thank you for joining us on our series on the Cuddle Trust theme books. Having worked in this field for over 15 years, we have realized that many of the teachers we work with have limited time and resources. And to save you worries, we have put together on a specific series of themes these books, which provide you with structured lessons, which each have specific activities and worksheets working on all 5 of the senses. We hope through these workbooks to challenge the child and encourage them to develop skills progressively so that at the end of it, they will have reached certain outcomes which will make them school ready. But at the same time, we're letting the child feel like a winner, but we are hoping that your preschool will be professional, will be productive, and will be profitable for you as well at the end. We are going to look at the theme of animals today. We're progressing through different skills, and the first theme was me and my people. So what's the next thing the child knows? He knows all about animals. So main theme being animals, we will divide the theme into 4 weeks. The first week being pets. I mean, who doesn't have a pet? So the children will be able to talk with you with regards to this theme. They will contribute, and in contributing, they will feel useful, and it'll make them feel like a winner. The second week, we're going to talk about farm animals. Third week, we're going to talk about wild animals. And the fourth week, we are going to look at creepy crawlies. As usual, we encourage you to have a theme table. And firstly, on your theme table, you are going to have charts in the back. So we can have charts like animals and babies, which is looking at your pets. We have got charts on wildlife. So your parents are going to be seeing every week there's a different chart. So it means lessons are happening in this school, and it makes them excited and the children to come to school. We can have a chart on farm life. We're going to even, remember I said we're going to look at creepy crawlies, and we've got a beautiful chart on insects as well. So that will be at the back of your theme table. And then on your theme table, we'll encourage children to bring anything to do with animals. So they can bring model animals, they can bring food that pets would be eating, they can even bring pet accessories, they can bring toys that look like farm animals, they can bring their books, they can bring puzzles, and these we will place on the table. And as we share with you at the preschool course, this is an excellent way to let the child feel he's also contributing to the lessons, and especially your introverted child, your shy child. What songs are we going to sing with this theme? Well, when it's got to do with animals, farm animals, Old MacDonald had a farm. Then we're going to sing a song on 10 little monkeys. We're teaching the children numbers, and you can do it forward, 10 down to 1, or we can start from 1 and we can go up to 10, counting forwards and backwards. We will sing Baa Baa Black Sheep and Moo Moo Jersey Cow, especially when we're looking at farm animals. You're wanting to talk about the function of that animal. Why do you have that animal on the farm? What do they provide? Really an exciting week that to look at. And with this theme especially, we would encourage you to go and visit a farmyard, because children in a town setup have very limited opportunity to see a cow or a sheep. And I'm sure that you would find something in your area where they could actually go and see some farm animals. And because we're looking at creepy crawlies, we're also going to be singing Incy Wincy Spider. The skills we're looking at developing through this theme, we're going to start stretching the child a little bit. So we're looking at increased vocabulary, communication, sequencing, reasoning, counting, shapes, memorization, crossing the midline, judgment, laterality, cutting, gluing, one-to-one correspondence, pencil control, and the difference about sizes. So which theme shall we look at? We all know enough about pets, Farm animals, I'm sure you're very clued up on. Wild animals, oh, we're going to look at creepy crawlies. So as you can see, we have put the lessons out in a way that we've done all the research for you. You don't need to go and do the research. We've tried to make the information as comprehensive as possible, but at the same time, providing it in such a way that it is simple enough for the child to understand as well. So Monday, we're going to look at creepy crawlies with 6 weeks. Because it's the first time we're talking about creepy crawlies, we're going to differentiate what makes something a creepy crawly to a wild animal or to a farm animal. And most times it's got to do with the number of legs. You've also got difference in sizes. Imagine having an ant as big as an elephant. I think we would all run away. So some animals we're going to talk about, say, are big. We've already spoken about wild animals, so the child can show us as big as an elephant, but as small as an ant. Then we're going to say what makes an animal with 6 legs. What kind of animal is that? Well, it's called an insect. So we practice counting up to 6. Then we talk about what insects do children know. Well, some know about ants, some know cockroaches, grasshoppers, crickets. And if children are not sure of what these insects look like, create flashcards so that the child can see the picture and not imagine what these things should be looking like. We can also talk about insects that are useful to humans, so like your ants and your bees, but then you've also got some insects that are not so nice to have around, like cockroaches who spread diseases. So we're encouraged here, we say, let's do worksheet 13, where we draw a circle around insects that have 6 legs and then color in the insects. So in the child's portfolio file, he is going to do worksheet 13, and by the time he's finished worksheet 13, there is worksheet 13. We've put pictures there, and the child must go and identify which of those things or animals on there are going to be insects. The next day, we're going to look at creepy crawlies with 8 legs. These are called spiders. A spider is not an insect. They've got 8 legs. Now we teach the child to count up to number 8. Where do spiders live? They live in a special home that they make themselves, which is called a web. They use the web to also catch other insects, which they can then eat. And we can here get different pictures on different types of spiders and show the child that there's actually only 2 spiders that are dangerous in South Africa, in particular, the black widow or the violent spider. And if you can show them how to identify those spiders, they've got something new they can go and share at home as well. So be careful with spiders. Encourage children not to play with spiders, but you don't want to kill spiders, because spiders are actually very useful to us in controlling the mosquitoes and a lot of the insects that are really pests. So what are we going to do here? We're going to do worksheet 14. So as you always, the worksheets are all at the back of your manual. There is worksheet 14. There's the number 8. There's the spider with his 8 legs. We're going to teach the child pencil control, and he's got to trace on all those letters and do the number 8. The next day, we're going to look at creepy crawlies with 10 legs or with no legs. These we are looking at specifically. Yes, a worm. They've got no legs, but they're in the ground and they can move around. You get different kinds of worms. You get earthworms that live under the ground. You get tapeworms that can live inside your stomach if you're eating raw food. Some worms, again, are useful. The ones that live in the ground eat the rotten leaves and they clean up the soil. Who eats a worm? Well, a bird eats a worm. Here we can do some physical movements. Let the children pretend they are worms and slide along the ground as if they are a worm. For an activity here, we've suggested that you give the child a scrap paper and some colored paper and let them draw lots and lots of circles onto the colored paper. And then they cut the circles out and then they put them in order from big to small. And with that activity, they are also doing ordering. The next day, we're going to look at creepy crawlies with wings. So remember, we've looked at insects, and some insects have wings, some insects don't have wings. So now we ask the children to give us examples of insects that have got wings. So yeah, we're thinking of a bee, a butterfly, a moth, flies, mosquitoes, ladybugs. Which of these insects can hurt you? Well, a bee can sting you and a mosquito can bite you. Which of these insects only come out at night? Moths and mosquitoes. So they're realizing they can't go and look for certain insects in the daytime or at nighttime, because the insects will also go and hide and sleep. Some of these insects, like bees, are very useful to us, and we need them to pollinate the flowers. If there weren't bees, we wouldn't have beautiful flowers. So here we're going to encourage them to do worksheet 15. So worksheet 15, they have got to draw a line from the number of that group to that number of bees. So here we've got a number, and they've got to draw the lines to the specific quantity. So, and by the time they finish that worksheet, it will look like that, where they've drawn the lines in different colors, associating the number to the quantity that is over there. And then on the last day, Friday, again, we're going to do a craft. Here we're going to suggest you do the cotton spider, where you get an egg from the egg cartons, cut one shape out and let 8 legs come out of the spider. The child goes home with the craft. But at the end of the month, the child goes home with his portfolio file, which again is full of very busy worksheets using different textiles, different techniques, different senses, and they have learned different things. Your parent will be impressed, your child will be chuffed with himself, and your parent will realize that your promise to them is that every day your child is going to learn something. Some days they'll bring it home in their hands, some days they'll bring it home in their head, and some days they will bring it home in their hearts. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Hope to catch up with you next time again.